No. Sì. Cioè, cioè, ah, bravo. Gara lagi. Dale.
Sila, wala akong absent. Ilan ang sa pagkulang sila, wala akong absent. Ilan ang namus ko.
Video ko.
Yawar ako ba?
Hapon.
Video ko.
Yawar ako ba?
Hapon.
Yeah.
Dale, gusto mo. Tipo. Sorry. Claro, no veo. Sí.
Charger. Slicer.
Karigo na sila. Mamaya na na ako.
I like it.
Kung kita naram disloyo niya, kastan din. Kami litsi lagi.
Let's see plan dia yung bingon.
Sagdaan ko ako, ha?
Islat.
Sila lang rin.
According to reports, Lissandro had gone to the new clinic blocks away four cars.
My food is mine. First time.
Adam, kita. Ya, ini pucara ya.
Inuangan nila yung ako.
Mas lalo na pala balik. Asa tiasa.
Thanks!
Asa mali.
Makoy.
Yeah. Next one naman ang kiwas dahil. Thank you. Doon na ni mo kita.
Spotted by
Ah, wala ka ma.
a scuffle ensued and Lissandro was trying to talk to the bodega. Shot by your city.
Limon mo sila mo?
Armed that large knife.
Limon mo.
The five took turns brutally
Si Timon
stabbing
mo
the
po. Si
teenager.
Timon mo.
Peligurata.
M4.
Ako kung hapon.
Then fled away in getaway cars.
Pilibol.
After the attack,
Gusto bro.
the
Hindi ko nagatulog. Wala yung mga ano.
outside, fast, gestured towards onlookers to call 911.
Kid.
Nalala ko na.
Then he started running towards St. Barnabas Hospital, just 1 block away, before collapsing at the entrance.
Rider warning.
Passers-by desperately tried to save Lysandro.
Geraldine, kapasa
The
din.
police officers were
Allah.
by watching the scene.
Ano?
Later investigated.
5 pieces of nature's miracle kasoy.
Lysandro
Ano
passed
sa akin? Ni Asin na.
Police
Right, right, right.
the CCTV footage and arrested the 5 suspects, charging them with murder.
Arrested the 5 suspects for the murder of this teenager in the Bronx.
At their trial, the 6th member of the Trinitarios gang, Kevin Alvarez, testified against the 5 murders.
Kevin Alvarez's arrest is testifying in court against 5
Pwede
of
ka
the
na
12 alleged Trinitarios gang members.
Alvarez, who had helped drag Lysandro out of the bodega, identified the suspects in exchange for lesser time served and criminal charges. Eventually, the jury convicted the 5 gang members for the brutal murder of Lysandro Guzman Feliz.
Parang may
Their
mga
sentence,
sa
killers showed no signs of
Si
remorse,
EJ, wala man may
waved gang signs, and shouted gang
mistake mo
slogans.
sa kanya.
Yoanite Estrella, who delivered the fatal blow, was sentenced to life without parole. Jose Nunez, Elvin Garcia, and Antonio Santiago each received 25 years to life, while Manuel Rivera was sentenced to 23 years to life. Lysandro Guzman Feliz was for being in the wrong
Namatay?
place.
Namatay?
But what happens when a popular music artist is killed in broad daylight? Like in the case of Jose Onfroy, the rapper popularly known as Triple X Temptation, was killed in Florida on June 18, 2018. 20-year-old Onfroy was out shopping for a motorcycle with a step on the curb.
Papa, wait. Papa.
Earlier that day, Onfroy withdrew about $50,000 from the bank to make his purchase. The young rapper was unaware he was being stalked by 4 men: Michael Boatwright, Trayvon Newsom, Deidre Williams, and Robert Allen. Williams and Allen even followed Onfroy into a dealership to confirm that it was indeed the
Mahal ko
rapper.
ba? Dali ka malakpan.
Gusto na yan.
Then, as he left the shop, Onfroy's car was intercepted by a black SUV. Armed with guns and faces covered with a mask, Boatwright and Newsom stepped out of the SUV and robbed Onfroy at gunpoint. A scuffle ensued, and the two ended up fatally shooting the rapper before grabbing the bag of cash and fleeing.
Alam mo, kung na kaya ako na-flat.
So kayo manilap-tilap ko.
A passerby after the attack and called 911. Another capture on Onfroy's body in the driver's
Kung na kaya ako
seat.
na-flat.
The tragic incident left the hip-hop industry in shock.
Layan ko na.
Artists like Diplo and J. Cole paid tribute to the teenage sensation shortly afterwards before being arrested and charged with first-degree armed robbery.
Iba sunod ang parang si
Robert
Pala,
Allen
ay
was
papasok
pleaded in
niya.
exchange for his testimony in the trial of David Free, which began with the prosecution claiming that Onfroy's murder was pre-planned and efficient. Boatwright's lawyer suggested that Robert Allen was yet to testify against the Free or lie in court.
Robert Allen.
Ay, saan ka rin?
Michael Boatwright
Then, Williams' lawyer incredibly threw accusations that popular hip-hop artist Drake argued that the Grammy Award-winning rapper was to be blamed on Roy's death.
Before X died, he said everything he did great. And do you think that for one moment, here today, days after the event, he still like two last men, right? He came on social media and said, guys, before you guys, if anybody kills me, great. Do you think in that time, that they went and they addressed them or content? No. Do you think sitting here today, years later, any detective has ever asked, Drake or anybody else? No.
He also accused Robert Allen of getting paid by Drake.
How much money in 2018 did you receive from either Drake or one of Drake's children? You never met him. You know who he is, though, right?
Yes. Okay. Finally, Newsom's lawyer appeared last, stating that no physical evidence linked his client to the crime.
Evidence will not show that any firearm was ever recovered if it was matched or linked to Drake arms. The evidence will show no DNA whatsoever found on the body, the envoy, or on that car.
However, he was wrong. The prosecution presented a boatload of evidence in court, including CCTV footage from the crime scene. But it was three pieces of damning evidence that settled the case. First was the testimony of Encoy's step-uncle Leonard Kerr, who fled the scene of the shooting. He described what actually happened that day. The second crucial piece of evidence was pictures and videos captured the day of the shooting.
Bantu siya kalagayan ba?
This time, Williams appears to be in a car. Also, $100 bills.
Allen claimed that Newsom grabbed a bag of money, both lights shone off the bed. Williams was the getaway driver as he stepped Michael Goodwright received an additional life sentence plus 30 years, as he was the one told to straight. As for Robert Allen, his plea meant a reduced sentence to 7 years in prison plus 20 years probation for second-degree murder. Although his citations promising life was cut short of a few $1,000. But what happens when the judge is wrong? In the case of Michael Thomas, it's a homicide charge in Wisconsin. Reports suggest that in 2011, 16-year-old Thomas was driving around in a stolen minivan with Malik Merchant and Jenny Scales when they stopped at West Lisbon Avenue and attempted to rob Sharon Staples. Thomas allegedly jumped out of the car and threatened Sharon to give up her purse. But when the 34-year-old resisted, Thomas fatally shot her. Sharon was 12 weeks pregnant at the time. Thomas was arrested. He pled guilty to the counts of first-degree reckless homicide for killing Sharon and her unborn child. At his sentencing, Thomas was initially calm and silent, then suddenly, all hell broke loose. Evidence about the courtroom, Thomas looked towards Stanley and made an attempt to move towards them. It was court deputies to tackle him to the ground. He fell first first among those sitting in the
Ay,
gallery.
kuya, okay lang.
Ano?
Away.
Ano? Gawas sila, no? Sa amin. Kadungog. Kadungog ba sila, no?
The deputies managed to stand him up on his feet and couldn't control the teenager.
Mo rin, hindot na kuhan. Ano sa gawas?
Kasi ano yan, ay, yung mga nanulit sa bayan, wala yata yung kitapa. Kasi niya,
Oy, gikuhan na. Di-flash.
Last, Thomas was restrained and escorted out of the courtroom. The sheriff took hold of the situation and calmed the irate family members down.
Pinuta sa bata ko. Nag-umboy.
Yeah.
A deputy asked for that.
Nagro, nagro. Nagro ba? Nagro sa umboy.
Amerikano. Pero mga vlog American, nag-google na sila gawang nag-wake na ng words easy ba?
May ignaw.
Kalit lugar ng lawak,
Black
He was
American.
promptly cuffed and taken into custody.
Yaw ko dali ang tinggan mo. So na ko.
Ultimately,
Suhan,
Michael Thomas was sentenced to 35 years in prison. As for
35 years siguro
police
siya na
said
lo.
acted as a lookout, he was sentenced to
Pero man na lang
17
kay nagi kuan nga sila ka years kaysa
scales.
kanang
Ginawa pa na,
Disciples sentenced to 25 years in prison. While Michael Thomas showed great physical strength and defiance in court, what happens when a gang member bursts into tears? Like in the case of Brandon Spencer, who's facing attempted murder charges in California. Police
pang
said
tuon nila kung ano bang kago.
18-year-old Spencer was involved in a shootout at a Halloween party on the University of
Na siya
Southern
ma-experience
California
sa balik ni siya.
Reportedly, Spencer also ran with him and was eventually captured by the LAPD. He was charged with 4 counts of attempted murder.
And at the same time, open fire into a crowd.
However,
I'm not a bad person, but I made a mistake.
the jury was having none of it. He broke down and banged the table twice with his head before being held back by officers. Ultimately, Spencer was sentenced to 40 years to life in prison for the USC shootings. While Brandon Spencer had a total meltdown in court, how does it compare to a case that terrorized the whole country? Like in the case of David Parga, who was on trial for murdering a student in California. The gangster then walked up to the college graduates UCI medical center Parga was arrested and charged with felony murder. Family members of Washington addressed their loved one's killer. His brother said Washington did not deserve to go this way.
There's days that the grief is so much that I just kind of muddle through the day. You have to understand who he was. He was such a great person, and the way that he died, he did not deserve that at all.
While her sister spoke about the emptiness left behind by her brother's death.
However, we think will never be the same for us. My brother was murdered that weekend. And it's ironic that we're here today. For the sentencing, for the person that murdered Leland Wilkes Washington.
And finally, their mother said if given a chance, Washington would have been a great friend to this killer.
Okay na ito ha? 130,000. Pinaka mo na lang, ipaayo na dito yung
Roger was also given a chance
O,
to
ano
speak,
yan?
but he displayed remorse for his actions and apologized to the victim's family.
Gamay na nagkulang atong klase ni repair. Ano yung hindi na? Pero may mga resibo nila na siguro i-reach out ng guiding forward. Ako ang back ko. Okay ba lo? Nagreklamo sila na lima ko guiding. Pero okay ba lo na yan ang ipagisa ng guiding. 665 yung pigas ko talaga.
However, the judge was part of the coward
Ayun, katong pagkaka, break, nani tulog yun. Okay to,
and ultimately sentenced
Ay,
him
ito, kabayaran na to.
to life in prison for the murder of Cleveland, Washington. While David Harvey was smiling again at the bottom of the food
Oh,
chain,
apil na ba?
what happens when
Tulog
the
ka.
biker gang is armed? Like in the case of Joseph Lancia, facing a murder charges
Albert,
for
sige, sa mas
30-year-old Lancia was the president
Mabingit na
of
ko niya
Los Angeles
sa
biker gang in Rhode Island. Fired a gun at a truck by Richard Starnino. Starnino was engaged in an ongoing dispute.
It should be noted that there were children in the area at that time, and there is a school across the street from the location of the shooting.
Astonishingly, Starnino not only survived, but he kept on driving and finished his deliveries. After the incident, a massive raid was conducted at the Hells Angels headquarters.
Dad, kita may pa-reklamo mo dito sa 300.
Ano dito na?
Some members were arrested and taken into custody. Lancia, too, was arrested. However, as part of a plea agreement, more severe charges of attempted murder were dropped. Instead, Lancia pleaded no contest to felony assault and battery.
30-year-old Joseph Lancia changed his plea from not guilty to no contest.
At his sentencing, several members. However, Judge Kirsten Rogers had some words for Lancia.
Not extend time in manner, and I'm talking 5 minutes late, or if there are any violations of your duty.
She also ordered him to stay away from the victim.
For the protection of witnesses referred after the UCI.
Lancia was ultimately sentenced to 5 years in prison plus 10 years of probation, while Joseph Lancia's victim lived to tell his tale. What happened when drug dealers go after him on their own? Like in the case of 33-year-old Christopher Dean, a drug dealer in Atlanta in Sandy Creek Drive. Then, for more than an hour, he viciously beat Dan with a crowbar and a 2x4 before sodomizing him, torturing him, and ultimately executing him. The gangster then disposed of Dean's body in Hamilton Homes, Marta Station.
Hindi pala ka na, di mo?
Police found the body dumped
Naman niya,
Gibson's house where they made a shocking discovery. Police found evidence that the suspects continued living in the house with Dean's bloodstains everywhere. 5 members of the case were arrested for Dean's murder. Christopher Watkins, Gibson, Joshua Brooks, and Jasper Wade. Such was the extent of the torture that prosecutors said Dean's skull was actually depressed.
Likod gi-apila sa akin ng jury.
They also said the
Payo mo
suspects
pang
were
jury
trying
dito.
to send a message back to gang members.
Ha?
They were obviously, trying to send a message to fellow gang members and anyone who might dare to testify against them.
All 5 were found guilty of murder and other gang-related charges. The sentencing, emotional father of the victim took the stand. Ultimately, the 5 gang members were sentenced to life in prison for the murder of Christopher Dean. While Christopher Dean's killers showed no remorse, the suspect in our next case made the whole courtroom emotional. This is Tariq Jackson, was on trial for murder in Michigan. Jackson was 16 when he allegedly pulled out a gun and opened fire after a fight broke out between two Ypsilanti gangs in 2015. The bullet hit 20-year-old Keandre Duff in the head, instantly killing him. Jackson, now 18, was facing multiple charges, including open murder. He was set to go to trial, but eventually pled guilty to second-degree murder. Things got emotional in his sentencing, and the victim's mother directly addressed Jackson. She said his actions had changed her life forever.